Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Chris here. Just giving you guys another weekly update on the Canaries. You know, they're doing good. We've had a lot of good stuff happen this week. We've had some pairs lay their clutches of eggs. We've had some pairs hatch their eggs or hatch their chicks out. We've had some chicks weaned. So it's been a pretty eventful week here for us. And so we'll get you started here and let you enjoy them. So up here we got the Stafford pair. They are red factor. I don't know if you guys can see the red bronze on the male right there. Really beautiful bird. So they hatched out two of their chicks just last night. Let me open this up for you to look in here. Right there. Mom's taking good care of them, and so excited for that. Hatched those out last night, like I had said, and their two chicks are here. I separated them, and they've been eating on their own, and so today is the first day actually that I separated them. So they're still a little nervous, still trying to get used to not having mom and dad there, but you know, they were just kind of jumping in and out of the nest and disturbing the mom that was sitting on the babies. I didn't want them to hurt the babies at all, so decided it's time to separate them and give these little guys the best chance possible to survive and have the parents raise them up. And so excited for them. I think it'll be fun. I enjoy watching them take care of the chicks, and you know, and I love how tame the Canaries are. I love how they let you pretty much be a part of it all, you know. And you can see down here, you know, they're just so curious, you know, and they want you to be around, and they love it when you come into the nest or into the shed, and especially when you come bringing treats, you know. And you know, they saw me making some what is it, perlite? It's like a substitute for soaked seed. You know, they saw me making that, and they're excited, and they're just waiting for me to put it in the cages for them. And so, you know, this pair here, this is my red Mosaics, my lipochrome pair. So they still have the two chicks there, as you saw. You know, they're still being fed. They are starting to eat on their own, but parents are still feeding them too. So they're about 50-50 right now. The hen did relay. She's sitting on 4 eggs. 3 of the 4 are fertile. She's been sitting for about 5 days now. So excited for that. I'm hoping once those chicks hatch, these guys will be weaned and we can separate them just like that. So start color feeding them and get them into their adult plumage. And so it's a lot of fun. You know, the male's still singing like crazy. He's a good dad. You know, he's such a good dad that he lets the female pull his feathers to help build the nest, which is just pretty interesting, you know. And so that's why his tail feathers are so crazy right now, because while she was building her nest, she was pulling them out, even though I had provided more than enough nesting material for them at the same time, but to their preference, I guess. Down here we have our red factor pair. There's the hen there. She's sitting on 4 eggs, and all 4 of those eggs are fertile. So she's a really beautiful frost red factor. That means she's got like the white tips on the ends of her feathers, kind of gives her a frosty look. And then you have here, the male is a hard red, and so he doesn't have that frost factor. It's just all red. And he's beautiful. He's really dark. Wish I had a light behind him to kind of show you how dark he really is. He's a beautiful bird. So if you guys remember last video that I had done, she had laid 2 eggs, had sat on them for a while. They weren't fertile, so I pulled them. And you know, I kind of talked about how this was the male's first round, you know, and many times the first time males don't get it right, and they have to be allowed a second chance, I guess you could say. And he did it right this time. All 4 eggs are fertile. And so, you know, if you guys ever have issues with that, you know, don't give up on them. Don't just think after 1 round they're done and you separate them and whatnot. And so, you know, I did give him some vitamins. I gave him some Niger seed, you know, some more proteins to kind of get him going. And so I think that kind of kick-started him as well. And so, yeah, they're doing great down here. So this pair, you know, the hen, she's been building the nest forever. She did lay 3 eggs, but just kind of covered the nest up or the eggs up. And, you know, I just don't think she really is into this male. And so I think I'm going to swap the males out, see if that helps at all. You know, here's the hen right here, you know, and she's a seasoned hen. This is would be her 3rd year, and so I've never had an issue with her, and this is his 1st year, and so I just don't think they're hitting it off. So I'm going to swap out the males here this week and see if that helps, see if that triggers anything for them to go. And so come on over here. We have another of the opal mosaic pair here, and here's my hen. She's sitting on 4 eggs right now. She's only been sitting for about 3 days, so I haven't candled them yet. Don't know if they're fertile. You know, these eggs are a little bit smaller than some of my other pairs, and so, you know, I just don't know if they'll be fertile or not. I'm not saying because they're small eggs they won't be fertile, but I don't think I've really seen eggs this small, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll give her a few days to sit on them, and I'll candle them and see what we've got here. You know, and she kind of was kind of like the same as this bottom pair here. I had a different male in there, and she wasn't too interested in them. She kept just building the nest and building the nest and building the nest, and that was it. So I finally, I noticed that these two just kept looking at each other through the cages, and he'd sing to her, and so I put him up here, and she laid right away. And so I think that was a good match for them, and so we'll see how it does. Both of these pairs, or both the male and the female, you know, this is their 2nd or 3rd year breeding, so hopefully we get some good results from them. Here's one of my extra opal hens. She's just chilling, you know. I don't have another male for her right now, and she's really young, so I'm just holding on to her and bringing her into breeding condition, and then we'll kind of see if there's any males that she takes too and go from there, you know. So I'm just kind of waiting on her, not in a hurry. So down here is my Liprochrome hen, and then an agate mosaic male. So there's the hen. She actually has been, I just put in new newspaper today, but she's been ripping the bottom of her cage. So I just put in a nest today, and I'm going to throw in some nesting material and see if she takes it, and you know, see if that's something that she wants to do, and kind of get them breeding. And I'll probably breed them just to get genetics differently, and then I'll put all their chicks back to just the Liprochrome mosaic males or hens, and so try and breed them back into that all white color. So it'll be fun, you know. I think that's one thing I like about breeding birds, is trying to keep pure strains, but also trying to get new bloods introduced into those strains as well. And so, you know, it's a little bit of an art and a little bit of a science at the same time, mix and match and throughout the years. And so it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So down here I have one of my Liprochrome pair. There's the male. He's got a really pretty mask. You know, his wing feathers, you know, aren't the greatest, but he's a beautiful bird. Really enjoy him. There's the hen. She laid 4 eggs. She's only been sitting for about 3 days as well. So haven't candled them, so we'll see, you know, if there's any fertile chicks in there, and kind of go from there. But I'm excited for them. I really love these birds. You know, they're one of my favorite color types of canaries, and just think they're so elegant and pretty. And so hoping we can get some good chicks from them and get some good success from them as well. And so yeah, so that's the canaries this week. You know, we've had what, 4 pairs that have laid eggs now and are sitting, and the 1 pair hatched their chicks out. And so hopefully hopefully that means we'll get some good results here in these next coming weeks, and get some good updates for you guys, and let you see the chicks that are growing and the chicks that are hatching. And so I think it's that time of year, you know. I think the chicks or the canaries are rearing to go. As you can see here, the hen, she kind of she plucked the baby to use some of the feathers for the nest. Poor little thing. Her and the male kind of took a beating from the hen. She was very particular on what she wanted in her nest. If you can see, she's got shredded paper towel, she's got burlap in there, she's got shredded newspaper, she's got feathers, so she kind of did it all. this round building her nest. And so, and it was just this chick that got picked on. That one in the back didn't really get it. You can see him, he's singing there. Let's see if we can zoom in on him. Beautiful. It's a good male, and I love the canary song. It's one of the reasons why I have him, is just to sit there and listen to him. And so I did have a comment, someone had asked, what do I do to bring the canaries into condition. Really I think probably the number one thing is light. Canaries, lighting is a huge influence on canaries, and so the longer the periods of light go, the more the canaries are wanting to breed. And so I think that's probably my number one thing. And in the off season, I try and give the canaries as much exercise as possible out in the aviary. So in the summertime it's warm, so I have them outside. I separate the sexes, and typically they're molting at that time. So I don't really worry about them fighting as much, but I have them out in the flight to get as much exercise as they can. They spend a few months out there. I think that's huge to help prepare them and get them strong enough for the next breeding season. And so, I think with that and giving them a well-balanced diet of seeds and veggies and pellets, some fruits, I think that helps them as well. And so one thing I do, when I hit about 11 to 12 hours is I do start giving the canaries Niger seed right here. It's those little black seeds. I do give them that, and that kind of helps bring the males into condition as well, and they start singing a lot more once they're eating those too. So those are just a few things, but like I said, I think lighting is probably your number one factor. The longer the lighting period is, the more inclined your canaries are to breed. You don't want to do it too long. I think 14 hours is about as the max that I go. My lights are at 14 hours right now. If you go any longer, that could send your canaries into a molt, and then they won't breed for you anyways. And so 12 and a half to 14 hours is about your breeding range. And so once you go short in hours, once you go underneath 12 hours, that's when your canaries start to molt again and kind of go into a dormant stage where they're not super active. They're just molting, getting in their new feathers, and it's kind of a resting period for them. And so that's kind of what the canaries are like. And if you guys want me to focus on any more detailed topics or issues with the canaries, whether it's color breeding, whether it's genetics, whether it's molting or food topics or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to share with you guys. So please let me know. Like down below, leave me a comment. Be happy to hear from you guys. See you next week.